Hey everyone, we're breaking down Gemini 3 today. It's blowing our minds. We're gonna walk you through the feature nobody's talking about. Its ability to consume video and understand and give feedback and coaching, pick out perfect clips. This is going to be a game changer for the task that an average marketer does every single week. Then we're actually gonna break down how Gemini 3 transforms Google search, which is another huge deal for marketers. Then we're gonna show you how it's the Vibe Coding Pro and what you can build with it. All of that and more, all in today's show. Okay, everyone, we have a hot show coming in. The biggest model release of the year has happened this week with Google's Gemini 3, Kieran, and I don't think that's an overstatement. I really do think this was bigger than GPT-5. Do you agree with that?
I think it was bigger. It is certainly better. I had a lot of issues with not just GPT-5, but GPT 5.1.
We're going to break down on today's show some of the new novel use cases with Gemini 3 from Google and some of the kind of ins and outs of using the model and the kind of the UX around it. But I think you're bringing up a good point, Kieran, that this launch happens at a very interesting time when ChatGPT is like having some scale issues. It's not being as good.
One of the problems is really with GPT-5 that one of the big features they wanted to launch was to take the burden off the user trying to decide what model to use for what request. And so in the past, when you went to ChatGPT, you would have to choose the reasoning model or the basic model or all of these different models. And now ChatGPT 5 is trying to route that to the right model. And in my experience and in many others, it is doing a very bad job of that. And you are not getting the models you're paying for in a lot of cases. Now you can still turn on the legacy models and go use them. But I just think in general, using the model, it does not feel as compelling as Claude or Gemini's latest model right now.
ChatGPT has kind of opened the door for other competition, and Google's walking right through it, Kieran. I've got pulled up here kind of, anytime you have a big model launch and you have this AI revolution, we first go to like, what are the marketing and business use cases? But you also want to see how they're marketing it, right? What are they really leaning into? What are they focusing on? And so they're saying state-of-the-art reasoning, deep multimodal understanding. We're going to talk about that. That's the ability to really consume audio and video in addition to text and get insights. Vibe coding. Vibe coding has been a theme all year, and you've had Claude and ChatGPT really lean into coding. You've had Replit and Lovable, lots of players in that vibe coding space. Gemini has now entered the arena, so to speak, and you've got much more powerful agentic capabilities, and they're making this all available in the Gemini app and on gemini.google.com. And so we're off to the races here with this new model. And I want, Kieran, your initial thoughts.
I've been using it to kind of vibe code some lead gen magnets for marketeers. I think that's one of the core use cases that our audience will be interested in, and vibe coding in general. So many months ago on this show, there was like a little feature that Google had launched as part of a package of features, and it was not that widely covered, and it was the ability to dynamically create user interfaces. And what we posited then was at some point that was going to be visible in search, and it would completely change the landscape of search because now you would have custom built user experiences for every search. Like you actually are building in some way lightweight apps to return the answers of search, and drastically changes how you acquire traffic from sites like Google. And so AI mode is now, I think, default for most people. It's default for me as part of this launch. I now get that as the default mode to search. And here, I want to give you an example of this. And so this is their chief science officer. And he wants to talk about how we're building on top of Gemini 3, which is the latest model we're going to talk about, how they're building AI mode search on Gemini 3.
Yeah.
And because Gemini 3 is so good at coding, it's generating generative UI experiences. And this is what we talked about. So here's an example of how you might learn a complex topic like RNA polymerase, whatever.
I don't even know
whatever.
how to read this, let
Yeah.
alone understand it.
And so you still have to choose the model here. They don't have
Yeah.
the same issues as ChatGPT, but like this is basically like an ebook, right? In the past, you
Yeah.
do this,
They've
and then
got this
you get
long,
an ebook,
detailed scientific journal, and they show me how this works. It's creating this composable UI.
right? It's starting to build an interactive UI
Dude,
to show
this
you
is mind-blowingly good.
unbelievable, right? This is the future of search. It will actually return when it has thinking, right? You can see he asked for the
Hmm.
thinking model. It will actually return lightweight apps, not
Yes.
blue links. And that is bananas because the lightweight app is an incredible way to keep you on Google,
Yes.
never have to go to any website, and be able to monetize that demand for Google, right? Like
And you
if
can
you're
see
if
where
you're
this is going,
engaging,
right? Like that composable sidebar could have ads. Even these animation could have
yeah,
ads. Like
yeah.
it's going to be awesome. I actually think in the future for marketers, but we're in this weird transitionary period right now. I love like the demo you're doing here, like the tables, the
Look,
visualization.
it's so cool. Like,
There's been a couple experiments, and we talked about this previously. There was an experiment called Learn About, which basically was this composable UI experiment. And they've basically taken the best of that and put it into AI mode. Now that the model's good enough to actually do it fast enough and at the level of quality they want. I would say one other thing, Kieran. I think we should take a victory lap. When AI coding started, we said there were going to be two big themes. And this was like, I think like 18, 24 months ago.
right.
We said, hey, we're going to move to this era of personal software where you can have this kind of disposable software that you use for use cases that you wouldn't previously use software for because it would have been too expensive. And then we said, you're going to have these composable interfaces in real time, and it's going to have this very personalized experience, not just for search, but for anything. And we're starting to see that come through with AI mode.
Exactly.
This is the first like real scale, like production version of that. And I think it is the perfect like microscope into the future of the internet.
I agree. I think that again was not something that was widely covered, and now actually is front and center in how you search within the future. And I think this ability to get interactive apps is going to be a huge part of the internet and Google's experience. In terms of like how I feel about Gemini 3, in early kind of stages of playing around with it, I'll just show you some of the things I was doing very, very
Yeah,
late last
please.
night. I think it's like really, 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 really good. Like I was like,
Is that your
holy
professional
smokes.
opinion? Really,
This
really,
is
really, really good.
I
It's
definitely will
you're up
like
to five release.
yeah, like I think I'm going to like I can see me gravitating a lot of my usage actually over to
I'm thinking
Gemini
about
3.
making the switch from ChatGPT as my primary.
I feel like this is a huge step up. And so this is like a really simple app. Again, if I was thinking about this as a marketeer, so what this basically does is it will custom create you a marketing strategy. Now, I'm going to just tell you, I just did a single prompt. This is not a final app. Let me take a brand. Who do we want to do a quick one for? Okay, let's just do HubSpot actually. Public company, and let's just do CAC is too high. Paid advertising CAC is too high. And so what it will do is it will go off and analyze a bunch of websites and a bunch of data and then come back with a custom marketing plan. Now, as a first version and given it a single prompt, like even these kind of things are pretty cool, right? Like even the way
Totally.
it's showing like a progress bar, these small details. I know it's easy to understate these. This is kind of what you do in like good onboarding, right? Like you tell the user, hey, don't worry, it's going to come back. It's just going to take a certain amount of time so they don't like click off. I actually was pretty impressed in anything I built of the small details of how good it was in the small details. So this is what it outputs. Now, are there improvements we can make to this? Yes. So it basically says optimize paid advertising campaigns by deeply integrating with HubSpot CRM data for hyper segment personalizing creative and landing pages. That's very true. Basically, one of the ways you can do it is use HubSpot CRM to enrich the data platforms to improve the personalization of the
Yes.
ads, landing page, and everything else. And then it goes into this where it shows you some key strengths of HubSpot. It tells you a top opportunity and it pulls out all the sources, how it's come up with this. And then the critical gap, the challenge for high paid advertising CAC suggests a potential gap in the line and pay strategy with HubSpot's core inbound methodology, blah, blah, blah. And so then it has like these opportunities So it would list out the strategic opportunities and actually prioritizes them by impact and effort, which again is really good. I actually didn't tell it to do that. Goes into competition. So look at this. Pulls in traffic, SEO keywords,
Dude,
reviews,
this is really good.
social followers.
When did you build this?
11 p.m. last night. And then I built this one at 11:15 last night.
Dude, that's dope.
So, roadmap. Look at this. Build your marketing team and a roadmap to start instrumenting all those things. Now, I love this. Look at this. It gives me the methodology, but it's shown me all the sources.
Dude, that's sick.
Look at all the queries it ran.
That's wild.
Wild. And what I was going to
It's
do is
taking like hours of searching and just compiling it.
So I was going to play around with this and actually create a little app and charge $4.99 a report for a little test. One thing I would say they should really do, and this is why they're kind of still going to seed the market to like a lovable. What really someone like me would like to do is just easily deploy that app and integrate payments and just do it all from within Google.
They tell you to do it on Replit.
Yeah.
They have this Replit integration. You probably missed it because if you go too fast, they have like a lightweight, like little toggle to Replit. It's not even a full-time toggle. It's like a little feature flag, basically.
Wow.
To go and do it in Replit.
As a Replit investor, hooray!
Talking your book. That's the only investment anybody has that's doing well right now. But that's another story for another day.
Do you want to? I can show you the other one that I think is actually cooler.
Please.
So what I started building was like in a customer intelligence platform at 11 p.m. last night. But I was like, okay, what's a cool product for marketeers? One of the ones would be how I can plug in who I'm looking for and it would plot out where those people are. This is really for startup founders to get my first 100 to 1,000 customers. So let me give you a quick example I was playing around with. Okay, I'm basically a founder and I've built an app that helps men who want to start practicing meditation, right? So I'm a wellness founder is looking for men who want to start meditation. And then I'll click this. And again, I thought this was like really cool. So this is basically kind of trying to do customer intelligence for founders to try to get to 1,000 customers. And so what it's basically doing is giving you an executive summary of that audience. And so it basically would say, hey, this is like men, often busy, under stress, curious about meditation, but face internal and external barriers. And it goes in and it describes the audience really well, right?
Yeah.
It gives me the little ICP. Then it finds all of their mentioned pain points and it tells me where they're talking about those pain points. Literally, look at like
that's dope, man.
Look at this. My mind wanders a lot and I can't remain mindful. It's hard to stay focused while I'm meditating. I struggle with consistency and make meditation a daily habit. I don't know where to start or worry about doing meditation right. These are all real quotes.
It's never been easier to build a company.
Oh my God, look, it's extracted them, and then it shows me where it's extracted them from. So I can just like build the app and go in here and say, I've solved
then go to take the app into those channels and get feedback. And
look, it's got buying signals.
Woo!
It's building me a whole intent platform. It's so, and I can just start new research. This one I'm going to build out as well, and I'm going to charge $4.99 for a report.
You definitely should. I think lots of people would pay that. It's very dope.
Pay me a cup of coffee and get intelligence on tap. I'm a marketer. Look, that's a strap line already. I just thought of that.
Oh man, look, you're in the zone. You're in the zone.
I'm in the zone, actually.
He's vibe coding and marketing in all at the same time. Hey everyone, we'll be right back to the show. But first, we talk all the time about Google Gemini. Google Gemini is under the radar, one of the most valuable tools in a marketer's toolbox today. And that is exactly why we at HubSpot dropped our ultimate Google Gemini guide. And this is going to be packed with exactly what marketers need to know to transform their research, transform their marketing strategy, scale their content production, everything you're going to want to need to know to do marketing better with this guide. And there's no beginner basics. These are detailed workflows. We're giving you the prompts. We're giving you everything you need to go and use Gemini to get the most out of that for your marketing. And if this is something that you're prioritizing, you're not going to want to miss this guide. You got to check it out. You can scan the link at the QR code above, or you can click the link in the description below. Now back to today's show. Okay, so I think that was a great breakdown of vibe coding, Kieran. I want to share with everybody, I think, the most under the radar aspect of Gemini. Are you ready for this? I don't even think you've gone here yet. So One of the things that the Gemini account posted about was they've got a free plan for college students, but lost in there is this first sentence, Kieran. With advanced reasoning and the ability to analyze hour-long videos, Gemini is perfect for students. Did you know that it could analyze up to hour-long videos?
What? So you could basically give it a YouTube link or like a video file?
Oh, wait a second, Kieran. I'm going to show you.
Okay. This is
We
let's
have this
go.
awesome show here, everybody. And by the way, if you haven't hit like and subscribe, please do that now. So this is the show we did with Sabrina Romanov. Awesome episode. If you've not watched that on Content Automation, go check that out. So I went there and I was like, oh, I would like to see if it could be a good coach for you and I, Kieran, and tell us how to be better hosts of this podcast.
Oh, wow.
So I took this link and I went over and I said, hey, can you analyze this video? Because I didn't know what it could do. And it said, sure, I can analyze video. Great. And I said, can you download this YouTube link and analyze the video and give us feedback as podcast hosts? And all I did was that prompt and paste the link in. And it gave us a detailed breakdown of our hosting.
That is awesome.
What you did brilliantly, keep doing this. The show don't just tell format. Acting as the audience surrogate. And it called out specific wins. Do you see this? When Sabrina showed the NAN workflow, which looked like a complex spaghetti chart to a novice, you immediately paused to ask, is this harder to learn than Lovable? And what would you recommend for a beginner?
Oh my God. That is so good. I'm going to create a AI coach for podcasters and charge $4.99 a report.
like
I have the
I
biggest
don't say holy shit on this show
reporters.
very much, but like that literally blew my brain
That is
wide
insane.
open. I got more. It basically is a great coach and it gave us production notes. It even embedded the video down below. Even the UI is really good. And then I was like, hey, what are 3 things we should improve? Use the sportscaster technique. The issue, this episode was highly visual. While great for YouTube, you likely alienated your audio-only listeners on Spotify and Apple who had no idea what an NAN node looked like. The fix, you need to narrate the action more explicitly. Don't assume the audience sees what you see. Come the hell on.
That is really good. We should do that. We should do that. That's a great tip.
We're going to do it. It's great. But like hunt for the breaking point. Like these are not fluffy piece of advices, right? Like the demo went perfectly. The app built in 5 minutes. The automation ran smoothly. This creates a happy path bias where the audience thinks it's magic. To fix, you need to be the skeptic. Force the guest to show you where the tech fails.
Can you ask it to give you the perfect 30-second clip from the show that we can use in a social media post?
For what kind? Let's be specific.
Let's say for LinkedIn, so it has to be highly engaged and educational. Or say highly engaged and educational or a spicy take and see what it does. And if it does this really well, then I'm retiring. Well, I have so many ideas about this. I hadn't thought about how good it is at analyzing video.
Oh, dude, just freaking wait, man. Look what I also had it do is I had to build me a prompt to be an ad analyzer. So that like you're a creative director giving an analysis of any ad. And so basically a complete prompt of hook analysis, narrative script structure, psychological triggers, scoring system, everything. Okay? And then I just gave it a random ad. In this case, I gave it this Ed Sheeran Hines ad. I'll just show everybody here just
I've got an idea
of it, which is just Ed Sheeran talking about ketchup. Okay?
I mean, when you're a billionaire, you do not need to do ads for tomato sauce. But anyway.
First of all, it's ketchup, not tomato sauce,
Ketchup.
but that's okay. I know. But look at this. It gave us a full hook analysis. Like, this is really good stuff. Pacing, conversational and slow. It invites the viewer to lean in and listen to the story. This is how you know it's not looking at a transcript also, by the way.
Yeah. It invites the viewer.
And it did this while we were on the show. It is so fast.
I know, this could be a really dumb question. Does it know? It knows the visuals?
Hold on. Let me do this. What was the most compelling frame of this?
Yeah. I want to know how it knows.
Let's see what it does. Here, I'm going to go back to our other.
Okay.
All right, here are two perfect 30-second clips tailored for LinkedIn. One is a spicy take, one is pure education. And so it doesn't edit the clip out for you, Kieran, but it tells you what it is and the start and end
It
points.
validates people that are overwhelming. So it gives you the start and it gives you the end. So my advice for you again is to be completely honest, is to ignore AI and automation. That is actually really good.
It's good.
Holy smokes. That is actually perfect.
All right, let's go to the next one. The function I think about is like skill times clarity equals the leverage I get out of AI.
All right, my mind is blown. This is the best. I think this might be the best use case. These are the best use cases we've done in a while.
I think we have about like 10 Gemini 3 shows ahead of us to do.
I am going to create an app and I'm going to charge $4.99 per video clips.
Okay. Oh, here, back to Ed. Based on the created analysis and narrative arc of the ad, the most compelling frame occurs at 50-second mark, the hero reveal of the ketchup bottle. So hold on, I'm going over here. So it's saying out of this, because this is a 1 and 19-second video, it's saying this is the most compelling frame. Like, that's insane that it can do that, right?
That isn't. So it actually does understand the visuals.
It understands them to the level where they can pick out the frame.
Why does it say that's the most compelling frame?
Okay, here's the breakdown of why this frame wins. It describes the shot where Ed Sheeran reaches into his backpack and pulls out a standard plastic bottle of Heinz ketchup, holding it up against the backdrop of a dimly lit, ultra-expensive fine dining restaurant. Why this is the most compelling? Color theory.
Oh my God.
This is bright, saturated Heinz red cuts through the posh color palette of the warm golds, browns, and blacks. Texture class, the cheap plastic industrial design of the bottle, sits in direct opposition to the crystal chandeliers, white tablecloth, and fancy vegetables.
Hidden the fancy food is a close second. Holy
Hold on, we can go look at that real quick. So then it's saying the 12-second mark, it was basically just talking about fancy food.
So good.
And did I blow your mind?
That is an incredible use case. I'm kind of blown my mind on how good those clips were.
Imagine having it go and find the best 100 ads of the year, find the best frame in each of those ads, and doing an analysis across all of them to understand why those frames work, and basically then have it use that formula to then build a net new ad in VO3.
Yeah. We should build an ad live because we can use VO3. So all we need to do is do what you said, then build a prompt Gemini gem to be our VO3 prompt, and then have that create 8-second clips.
Create the ad.
And then create the ad.
I want to give the folks at Google a little round of applause.
So good.
This is a step function better. I will say specifically from like a marketing and business growth perspective than the other models right now.
Yeah.
There's a new set of use cases that are unlocked. And imagine integrating these into tools like, obviously we're biased at HubSpot. Like, it's going to be freaking awesome.
Awesome. I have so many $4.99 miniature apps I'm going to go and build this week. So be prepared.
I love that you just decided you're just going to buy code apps and sell them for the price of a coffee.
I thought, so you and I were WhatsApping about something we couldn't sleep when we were trying to solve a problem. And then the next night I couldn't sleep and I was thinking about building $4.99 apps. And I was like, okay, I'm going to build a whole suite of $4.99 apps because it's going to be Fiverr. It's going to be a penny cheaper than Fiverr.
Kieran and his $4.99 apps. Okay. We were going to be back with several more Gemini shows. If you have specific ideas of what you want us to cover, leave them in the comments below. Or if you have your favorite Gemini 3 use case, tell us what that is in the comments below. Shout out to the folks at Google. This has been awesome. We are going to be back with lots more, but I hope you found this to be a super helpful episode and get you into Gemini 3. See y'all on the next episode.
This data is wrong every freaking time.
Have you heard of HubSpot? HubSpot is a CRM platform where everything is fully integrated.
Whoa, I can see the client's whole history, calls, support tickets, emails, and here's a task from 3 days ago I totally missed.
HubSpot. Grow better.